It runs, Clayton, and it sounds amazing. Let's get to it. I don't know where I left off filming with this thing. Clayton obviously is trying to get all the footage together. I expected to have this car running like over a month ago. It's just been constant battle with it, but I'm going to bring you guys up to speed from at least what I thought I had filmed last. I apologize if this video is all chopped up, but it's not 100% complete, but as you can see, the car's together. It does run now. We pulled it out of the shop earlier today for the first time. Clayton probably had that clip in here. Some stuff, the catch can, that's just an old catch can I had from a drag car years ago. I jammed that on for the time being, so that's a temporary thing. And obviously we still got the piece that we're gonna put on here, and I still need to weld up the intake, which likely will happen tomorrow probably. But the things that we have done since I probably filmed last. I put an upgraded fuel pump in the tank. It's a basically the Hellcat pump, 525 or whatever they are, ethanol compatible pump. We obviously got all the charge piping, intercooler piping, all that stuff done. I think one of the last, well, you can see the intercooler if you look way down. We still got to do the TTRS pulley, which, the DAZA pulley that I plan on doing on this engine, which still right, I don't know where it is.
It's on your desk.
Oh, it's on my desk. We still got to do that, so that's not done yet, but for now, I've been able to get it out, take it for its first test drive, and again, we're working with Jason at RevMap to do stock ECU calibration on this thing. I did have intentions to I do have an ECU, like a standalone ECU I was going to run on this, ECU Master. We may still dabble in that, but the way things are just dragging on with this thing, this is the quickest solution, and offering a turbo kit and offering Jason RevMap software is going to be the easiest solution for you guys. So on top of this being an all-wheel drive swapped GTI, it's now an 07K swapped GTI. So the wiring, we had to do all the wiring and everything to make it all work. Currently, the only light on the dash is for a ball boat. And so all the all-wheel drive, the engine, everything is happy, all the modules are happy, everything's good that way. But to give you guys to give people an idea of what we're working with here, it's obviously a 5-cylinder swap into a GTI. The engine, it's a rod and piston engine, so JE pistons, upgraded connecting rods. I did some upgraded valve train with it, and a turbo kit that we built to hopefully bring to market for you guys. This is kind of the test mule. We did it on a built engine so that we can kind of make optimum power to prove what the turbo kit can do. I have 2 turbos for this. Specifically, I've gone down in size to try to get a little bit more spool. I originally was trying to chase a bunch of horsepower with it, but it's a G30-900, and by the sounds of it, it's going to be, Clayton's got a little taste of what it sounds like. You guys probably heard it at the beginning of this video. But we're to the point of just picking away at some small stuff now, the catch can, and get the plate and get the intake welded up, and then it's really time to get it on the dyno and see what this thing can do. Not really worried about the engine so much. It's got good internals. The fuel pump stuff, we'll see where that takes us. Hopefully it'll get to us around the 600 horsepower range, again on ethanol. Again, I'd like to see hopefully around 500 horsepower on pump gas. It may not get to it because our pump gas is garbage here, but we're going to do our best, obviously, and we'll put ethanol in it afterwards to really see what it can make. It's a set of 1650cc injectors, so there's plenty of fuel up here for it. We did upgraded fuel lines. It is a return system now, which I can't remember if I chatted. Oh, I would have chatted about some of that when I was talking about the fuel rail and stuff, which was a bit of a nightmare in itself. Okay, so time to do the injectors in the 2.5. I've changed a few things with the injectors. I'll get to those in a second, but I've changed some stuff with the fueling. The 2.5s are a returnless system, so just one line comes in and then it's deadheaded here. I have opted to make a returned system, and I decided to try to use the stock fuel rail. So I've welded on some AN fittings on the end. For those that ever try to plan to do this on your own, this was a nightmare to try to weld up and make sure that it doesn't leak. And with that, to test it out, what I did is I drew something up on Fusion. We'll probably show some of this. And then I printed it with the 3D printer, basically to make these little spacers. It took, from design to printing, 5 of these, it took an hour. So I designed them and I printed them and had them ready to use all within an hour. And you can see I put a little hole through there that I could use a zip tie to pull them in and out of and to hold them in. And I've had these in and out of that rail at least a dozen times, and they all held up. So those will go in the toolbox for future use. Obviously, if you tried to have fuel in there and stuff, it would just eat these away because this is just a PLA material. But for testing purposes, they worked fine. That way I could pressurize, cap the end, pressurize it, make sure there's no leaks in the rail after welding it. After welding it probably 6 or 7 times, I got rid of all the pinholes and she's holding pressure, no problem now. But yeah, 3D printing. This is a perfect example, focus, perfect example of how handy having a 3D printer is, because I just made this little tool. Without this, I would have had to mount this all to an intake manifold and try to pressurize it every time doing it that way. And every time I found a leak, I would have to take it all apart, bring it over, weld it, blah, blah, blah. You get the picture. That really helped. And then in regards to the injectors that we're installing, we're using Canadian Performance Injectors. We've used these on a few setups now. I'm going with a set of 1650s, as you can see. It's a lot of fuel. We do plan on running ethanol in this a little bit when we want to have some fun. The kits come with all the injector data, how they were all flow tested against each other. I'm not going to open that right now. All individually wrapped, and they come with all the connectors and pins and everything. I'll show you another set here we have for a VR. They come with all the connection pins, watertight seals, whatever the heck I'm trying to say, and all the connectors and everything needed for the application. And you'll see on their website they have lots of options for lots of different vehicles. Actually, we'll probably put some of that on there. So Canadian Performance Injection, they have stuff listed for 07K, VRs, 180s, and a whole bunch of other vehicles. So actually, I will open this up. You'll see on top of the injector data specifically, or the dead times, it shows how much they were all flowed against each other as well. So you get a matching set of injectors. So time to install these things. 1650s, lots of fuel. We'll make some power in this thing at least, I hope. All right, another thing we need to do for this, get this 2.5 up and running, is we need to modify this crank pulley or harmonic balancer. So a lot of guys on the 07K, they'll use the early SEPA or 8J TTRS pulley, which is a direct bolt-on. The issue with those things is they're becoming a little bit harder to find. You still can get them new, but they're extremely expensive. This is a Dazzle pulley, so off a newer TTRS or RS3. It is not a direct fit, but it's like half the cost easily for these things. So they do come with a little metal washer like this on both sides. I've already tapped that out, and we have to mill this down so that I can start getting some measurements to put it in the actual mill, which like you guys have seen already, so that I can start getting some measurements on where this needs to sit, because this inner face needs to be machined down. Yes, I could put this in the mill and mill this first part off, but the time it's going to take to set this all up, I'd rather just quickly mill this face off so I can get some measurements, so that when I finally mount it in here and get it fixtured, I'm not removing it and trying to set it back up again. And plus, obviously, that's new to us, and it's all a learning curve at this point trying to use that thing. So we're going to do this part first, and then we'll get some measurements. We'll be able to actually put it on the crank because we can't right now because of that lip. And then we'll get some measurements to see how much we need to take off that. Now, you can buy these already machined. However, what better way to waste a Saturday than to buy a brand new pulley and see if we can't wreck it ourselves after wasting a bunch of time. So let's get to trying to get this to fit. So what I did is I jammed a piece of paper under here, underneath the end mill, so that when it just grabbed the paper, I stopped putting it down, so that when I machined all this off, there is like barely any. I can barely feel that with my fingernail, or if at all, actually. So now that this is pretty much perfect, I can at least get very, very accurate measurements when I put it on the engine to machine out the center of this. So this still needs to be machined down further than just taking this off. So we'll put it on the engine, start getting some measurements, and get an idea of what needs to be milled off in the CNC mill, because I can't do circles in this. I can put a fly cutter in here and try to adjust it 300 million times to get all the way out to the outside, but I don't. This is manual, so for me to do a circle, this is not going to happen. So this needs to be machined out in a circle. So now that this part's done, we can at least get some measurements off it now. That's what I was talking about.
Fuel
you
lines.
cut me
You're
off.
saying fuel line.
Oh, upgraded fuel lines, return system. We also did a few more other things. I swapped over Golf R brakes. I had them all powder coated. Clay, maybe you can show up in there. They still don't have the logos on it. And the wheels, obviously, I got a set of LMs for it. They're very dirty, actually.
Well, they're not.
I don't like the polished centers on them, so they may get stripped down and painted over the winter to make them silver centers. I can contemplate a gold as well, but I think silver is what I'm after with it.
Painted gold, not like shiny bling gold.
No,
right?
not like, yeah, not bling and gold.
Yeah.
Also switched out the coilovers on it. It's a whole different car since I parked this thing. Like,
yeah,
literally.
ST coilovers, bigger brakes,
different
engine. And you said GTI swapped. It's all-wheel drive swapped too.
I mean, it's an R. It is basically an R.
Two-door, which wasn't available here.
Two-door, yeah, Mark 6R. I just still don't really call it. It's a wannabe R. In fact, for the bins that I've had parts stored in forever used to say 2.5 wannabe T. That's what I was hoarding parts. So on top of the engine harness swapped and the engine, all the accessories, all that has to change over when you're doing a 2-liter to 2.5 swap. You do need quite a bit of stuff. But we're to the point now, as mentioned, that we're going to try to get it on the dyno, see what it can make for horsepower. The turbo kit, basically all the people that have been emailing me, I appreciate everybody inquiring about it. Originally, I was just going to try to put something out there with a lot of people just respect what we do and know that we're probably going to make some good horsepower with it. But we got really close to having this finished, and I was just going to hold off until we got good data and have something good to show you guys. It's been endless problems. The transmission's been out of this thing like 3 times this week.
Yeah, not necessarily endless problems with the kit or anything, just endless issues with the whole project.
Yeah, there's the car, because I had planned on doing this for so long, it lacked maintenance, so doing the brakes and stuff, just stuff that piled on top, on top, on top, on top. Nothing to do with the kit. The kit's been ready to go, as people have seen in previous videos. So we're to the point of dynoing it. We're gonna start it up, let you guys hear it. I told Clayton earlier today, and Robbie, that I don't know if I'll ever listen to the radio again. That's how good it sounds. Let's get to it. This thing is filthy. It's been in here, like, it is filthy. The dust all over it. But
KDN shifter. I don't know if anybody's ever seen these.
No, probably not. I got a new wheel that we're putting on it, Clayton. That video's coming up. Man, the wheels are baller. Okay, stand up there so I can run you over.
Okay. That was a problem.
No comment. So good. Do you think the 2.5 guys are going to want their car to sound like that?
I can't see why not.
I can't see why not either.
The 2.5 guys, I think the VR guys,
Yeah, all the guys?
Well, and girls.
And girls, yeah, good point. Whoa, almost fell. So some things that I forgot to mention about the fuel pump. I mean, if we put all this together for a kit, which is again the goal for this, we're gonna have good instructions on all the little things to do, the nuances, things to, you know, make sure you got a clearance or make sure that are in a certain position so that you don't have problems. For the fuel pump on this setup, I didn't film any of it, but if you look back at the video of this car when I did the Venturi setup and all that, because it's an all-wheel drive car, it's essentially exactly what I did with this car here. Because it's all-wheel drive, there's a little bit more involved with it.
Which it obviously will be different for the
for the regular average 2.5 person, they're not going to need to worry about any of that. So I didn't want to confuse people with that, and I wanted to try to get the damn thing done because it's been endless headaches. But Clayton, when I like literally thought about doing this so many years ago, building a 2.5 two-door Golf R, I started hoarding parts. I had the engine. I had half the engine parts.
Well, you had
the intake manifold. Well before I ever got a car, I was just searching for the right car to be able to, for a donor to do this to. And then life happens, the business, the shop happens, and things get pushed off. It took a very long time to get here. With all that said, the sound, man, it sounds so good. I hope it comes across in the video, but I started out with a 24 valve VR, well, not my very first Volkswagen, but one of the ones that I started modifying, and I always thought that thing sounded incredible. Forget the VR, man.
Question for the peeps, actually. You guys want to maybe see a little bit of the past of maybe our cars and what we used to be into? And
yeah, comment below.
If you want to see a video about that.
I mean,
maybe Dave, Robbie, myself.
Oh, Robbie's had tons of good cars too, actually, yeah. But there we are. The next video you're going to see of this car probably won't be the next video. We have some other cool stuff we're working on. But the next video of this car, which is coming very soon, is going to be it on the dyno making some jam. So thanks for everybody's support. We're back on the video train. This thing has been a headache. I've mentioned it. It's just been the bane of my existence, to be honest, but mostly my problems. it's time to make some horsepower with it. Thanks for the support. See you guys in the next video.
Also, we got some cool stuff. If you didn't check out the video on that, check it out. And we got some other cool stuff over there on the bench that we'll do another video about. So lots of cool stuff coming.
Bye.